Right now, what I'm going to be doing is mixing the bleaching powder with the volume 40 activator. We're doing this step so we can bleach the knots of the hair. So you want to make this really thick so it doesn't bleed through the frontal and get to the actual hair. Trust me, you do not want blonde roots. And what you want to do is apply the bleach in like a tapping motion and spread it out like butter. You don't want to press it through, you just want to spread it all over as lightly as possible. And once you're done doing that, you want to let it sit in that aluminum foil for about 35 to 45 minutes. Once time is up, you want to rinse out the bleach with warm water. And I use Selsun Blue for my first wash to basically stop the bleaching from activating. And you want to just wash it and rinse it out as good as you can. And the second wash, I use the Suave color protection and just wash that out real good. And you want to rinse it out as best as you can. I also use a Suave color protection conditioner as well. And while I was conditioning it, I ran my fingers through the hair just to make sure there wasn't any knots, and just rinse that out and then pat it dry. And I did let it sit in air dry as well. I didn't blow dry it. And the next thing you're going to be doing is plucking your life away. This is the most tedious part of customizing your frontal. It normally takes about 40 to 45 minutes. You just want to pluck in random spots of the front of the hair to make it match your hairline or look as natural as possible. And just comb out the excess hair that you've already plucked. As you can see, I did one side before the other. This is the side I did not pluck, and that's the side I did. Usually when I do my regular sew-ins, I do cornrows, so for this install I also did cornrows. My frontal did look a little light, so I did use some foundation so it can match better with my complexion. So when I did part my hair, it looked as natural as possible. Here's the install process. I did what was comfortable for me. To sew it on, I did part an area with my finger and just started sewing to the braid closest to my ear, and I just tugged every once in a while so I could make sure it laid flat in that corner there. And I didn't sew it all the way back. I pretty much just sewed the first front half, side half I should actually say, and just if it was a little too loose or it was lifting, I just went back over it. This was my first time. I didn't know the size of my head, and this frontal was a little too long for my head. So what I did was just pull it as much as possible to make the front completely flat and secured, and started sewing it from back to front. So I had to sew it pretty much from like the middle of that last braid closest to my ear all the way to the front. I pretty much got that side under control and got it nice and flat and exactly the way it was supposed to be. The other side I had to go back over it since I had one side completely secured. I did sew that one until I got to the second braid all the way in the front, just so it could be completely flat, because I did not use any glue in this hairstyle at all. I'm sorry I could not get myself sewing the back of the frontal, but what I did was sew it really close together. Each stitch was close together. Okay, so I'm finally done with my hair. So yeah, this is the finished touch. The frontal is by UniceHair, and my bundles are by HairByDinaD, but I left literally no spaces in the hair as well. It's like no spaces. And the last track on the top of where I sew the frontal is sewn together. The track is sewn with like the net of the frontal here. I don't know if that makes sense or if you get my drift. I am loving it. Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, natural. Girl, you hooked it up. I love this hair. And it's straight. The frontal is also straight, but when I washed it, I let it air dry. So it got all the waves into it. I didn't style it. Okay, and there is a discount on the frontals, which I'll leave in the info section below. You get $50 off. And DinaD's bundles are very affordable, very nice, sleek. I do have natural hair, so if you do want to know how I treat my hair and what I use to also let you know, just have to ask, and I will share my secrets here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Any questions you have or anything you feel like I didn't go over, please comment and I'll try to answer the best way I can. Stay lovely.